Imagine being protected by the most elite security agency in America, and then discovering that someone inside your own protection team allegedly leaked embarrassing details about you. Now, that person has reportedly been suspended, but that's only half the story, because this controversy isn't just about a leak. It's about claims of last-minute travel demands, canceled helicopter trips, taxpayer-funded security, frustrated Secret Service agents, and an internal investigation that's now making headlines across Washington. So what exactly happened? And why is U.S. Vice President JD Vance suddenly at the center of one of the biggest Secret Service controversies in recent months? Let's break it down. According to reports, U.S. Vice President JD Vance has suspended a Secret Service agent who is suspected of leaking sensitive information about his family's travel requests to the media. The development follows a report by MSNBC's MS Now, which claimed that members of Vance's Secret Service had become increasingly frustrated with what they described as unpredictable travel plans and an unusually demanding schedule. According to CNN, the person believed to have leaked those details has now been placed on administrative leave. The report also claims that Vance's entire security detail is currently under an internal review while investigators determine exactly how operational information found its way into the press. The Secret Service's Internal Affairs Division is reportedly overseeing the probe. At this stage, authorities have not announced whether any criminal charges will follow. The controversy exploded after an earlier report painted a picture of agents who were allegedly exhausted by frequent last-minute changes to the vice president's travel plans. According to that report, security teams would prepare for official movements only to find those plans suddenly canceled or completely changed. One allegation in particular attracted widespread attention. The report claimed that Vance wanted his young son accompanied by a Secret Service detail aboard a U.S. Marine Corps helicopter so the child could attend a golf lesson. That trip was ultimately canceled because of bad weather. Even though the flight never happened, the claim fueled criticism over whether government resources were being stretched for personal activities. The report also alleged that repeated changes to travel schedules forced agents to reorganize security operations at very short notice, creating additional pressure on an already demanding job. Perhaps the most unusual allegation involved what agents reportedly did behind the scenes. According to the report, some members of the Secret Service became so frustrated that they created mock coins, stickers, and badges joking about the repeated disruptions. The items reportedly carried slogans including Bobcat OTR Survivors Club and Advance OTR Repeat. Bobcat is reportedly JD Vance's Secret Service codename. The slogans referred to how often advanced security teams would prepare for one trip only to have those arrangements canceled when travel plans suddenly changed. While the authenticity of those claims has generated debate, the report suggested they reflected growing frustration within parts of the security detail. But the story was about to become even serious, because investigators were no longer just looking at workplace frustration. They were trying to identify who had shared confidential operational details with the media in the first place. CNN later reported that investigators believe they have identified the person who allegedly shared the information with the media. According to the network, that individual has been placed on administrative leave while the investigation continues. A source also told CNN that the alleged leak drew the attention of the Secret Service, the FBI, and White House officials because the published report contained operational details about the vice president's security arrangements. For any protective agency, those details are considered highly sensitive. The investigation is now expected to determine not only who leaked the information, but whether any security protocols were compromised in the process. Officials have not publicly identified the individual involved, and no criminal findings have been announced so far. The reports have also highlighted the unique challenge of protecting the vice president and his family. The Vances are the United States' first vice presidential family with young children to live at the Naval Observatory since former U.S. Vice President Al Gore's family more than 25 years ago. Responding to the earlier criticism, Vance's office defended the work of the Secret Service. In a statement to MS Now, it said, "The Vances are grateful to the men and women of the U.S. Secret Service who serve the country with distinction." The statement continued, "While protecting a vice president with a large policy portfolio and a young and growing family presents a unique challenge, agents of the Secret Service do so with excellence every day." The controversy has now sparked two separate debates. The first centers on whether the vice president's travel expectations placed an unusual burden on the agents responsible for protecting him and his family. The second is arguably even more serious. If confidential operational details were deliberately leaked, investigators will have to determine whether that crossed the line from internal frustration into a breach of national security procedures. Supporters of Vance argue that protecting senior leaders inevitably involves unpredictable schedules, especially when young children are part of the family. Critics, however, say taxpayer-funded resources should always be used carefully, and that repeated changes can place unnecessary strain on security personnel. For now, both questions remain under review. What began as reports of frustrated Secret Service agents has now evolved into an internal investigation involving one of the most closely protected people in America. A suspended agent, an alleged leak, claims of canceled trips and VIP demands, and growing scrutiny over how far personal requests can go when public resources and national security are involved. Whether the investigation ultimately finds misconduct, security failures, or simply internal disagreements, one thing is certain: this story is no longer just about JD Vance. It's about trust inside the very agency responsible for protecting America's top leaders. As the investigation continues, more answers are expected in the coming weeks. Until then, the controversy surrounding the U.S. Vice President's security detail is far from over.